shall see.
And your actress buddy, is she a spy too? They start that young?
I did.
Who are you?
Natasha Romanoff.
Are you here to kill me, Miss Romanoff? Because that's not gonna work out for everyone.
No, of course not. I'm here on behalf of S.H.I.E.L.D.
S.H.I.E.L.D. How'd they find me?
We never lost you, Doctor. We've kept our distance. Even helped keep some other interested parties off your scent.
Why?
Nick Fury seems to trust you. But now we need you to come in.
What if I say no?
I'll persuade you.
And what if the other guy says no?
All right, everybody, stand down. You listen to me? That little witch is messing with your mind. You're stronger than her. You're smarter than her. You're Bruce Banner. Right. Don't mention puny Banner. Okay. In the back? Dick move, Banner.
Welcome back to the 0 point of the multiverse, the nexus where all timelines collide and where the shadows of our greatest heroes reveal their most terrifying potential. I'm your host, and today we are venturing into a reality that doesn't just break the rules of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it incinerates them. We have spent years mourning the ultimate sacrifice of the Tony Stark we knew, the man who gave his life to snap away the darkness. But in the infinite expanse of the multiverse, survival can be a much darker fate than death. In this specific, haunting timeline, Tony Stark lived long enough to see his suit of armor around the world rejected, his legacy questioned, and his vision of a protected planet dissolve into the chaotic agency of lesser men. In his grief, and through the lens of a genius pushed beyond the brink of sanity, he realized that the Avengers were never the solution. They were a symptom of a world that refuses to be saved by anything less than absolute order. This is the origin of the Iron Despot, a version of Anthony Stark who realized that true peace cannot be asked for, it must be imposed. He discarded the red and gold, colors he now considers symbols of a naive and failed heroism, and instead donned the cold silver mask and the emerald cloak of a sovereign. This is Dr. Doom Stark, portrayed with the chilling, calculating intensity of a Robert Downey Jr., who has seen the heat death of the universe and decided to rule the ashes. He has merged the unparalleled technological supremacy of the Stark name with the forbidden, ancient sorcery of Latvian tradition, creating a hybrid threat that the multiverse has never encountered. But Doom Stark is a grandmaster. He doesn't believe in crude invasions or the wasteful expenditure of armies. He understands the Avengers better than they understand themselves because he once led them, he once bled for them, and he knows exactly where the hairline fractures in their foundation lie. To conquer the 616 Earth, he doesn't need to drop a city from the sky. He only needs to pull one vital, emerald-colored thread to watch the entire tapestry of heroism unravel. That thread is Bruce Banner. The choice of the Hulk is not accidental, it is a masterstroke of psychological and tactical genius. Doom Stark looks at the current state of the Avengers and sees a foundation built on a lie, a precarious truce known as Smart Hulk. To the world, it looks like a victory for science, but to Doom it looks like a bomb with a defective timer. He knows that Bruce Banner is perpetually holding his breath, walking on the thin ice of his own psyche, terrified that the savage monster he shares a soul with is only one bad day away from returning. Doom Stark sees this not as a cure, but as a backdoor into the Avengers' most powerful weapon. He recognizes that the team's trust in the Hulk is based entirely on the illusion of control, and his plan is to shatter that illusion so thoroughly that the world will never trust a hero again. The process begins with the most sophisticated gaslighting campaign in the history of the multiverse. Using a weaponized multiversal iteration of the BARF technology, Doom Stark begins a silent siege of Bruce Banner's mind. This isn't a simple holographic projection, it is a reality-warping psychological assault that functions on a subliminal level. Doom Stark broadcasts specific high-frequency signals directly into Banner's lab and his living quarters, hacking into Bruce's perception of the world around him. Imagine being Bruce Banner, finally at peace, finally believing you are loved by your teammates, only to have that reality slowly poisoned. Through the BARF manipulation, Bruce starts seeing glitches in his interactions. He sees a flicker of pure, unadulterated disgust in Steve Rogers' eyes during a routine meeting, a look that disappears so fast he thinks he imagined it. He overhears whispers from Natasha or Sam Wilson about dealing with the monster when they think he isn't listening. Words that were never actually spoken, but were projected directly into his auditory cortex by Doom's technology. Doom Stark is feeding Banner's deepest, darkest insecurity. The unshakable belief that he is only tolerated because of his power, never truly accepted as a man. He plants fake digital trails on the Avengers servers, secret protocols titled Exile or Final Solution that Bruce accidentally finds, which appear to be contingency plans to lobotomize or banish him if he ever loses control. But Doom Stark knows that technology alone might be detected by a mind as brilliant as Banner's. This is where the sorcery of Dr. Doom fills the gaps that science cannot bridge. While Bruce sleeps fitfully, haunted by the digital ghosts Stark has created, Doom projects his astral form across the multiversal divide to perform an arcane infection. He places a mystic parasite on Bruce's astral form, a subtle, psychic leech that feeds on cortisol and suppressed rage. This hex acts as a feedback loop. Every time Bruce feels a spark of anxiety or a drop of fear, the parasite feeds that emotion back into his nervous system, amplified tenfold. The Professor persona begins to erode from the inside out. Bruce starts experiencing missing time again, waking up in the middle of the night with the metallic taste of blood in his mouth and no memory of where he has been. He sees the Avengers looking at him with genuine, heart-wrenching concern, but through the filter of Doom's influence, he interprets that concern as pity, or worse, the look a hunter gives a wounded animal before the final strike. The Avengers mansion, once a sanctuary, begins to feel like a high-security prison, and his teammates start to look like his ultimate jailers. Doom Stark watches all of this from his dark throne in Latveria, a master architect of a catastrophe that the Avengers won't even realize is happening until the ground falls out from under them. He isn't just breaking a man, he is meticulously crafting a weapon of absolute destruction, waiting for the perfect moment of maximum vulnerability to turn the Hulk loose on his own family. The stage is set, the paranoia is absolute, and the monster is scratching at the door of Bruce Banner's mind, and Dr. Doom Stark is the only one who holds the key. With Bruce Banner's psyche now reduced to a fragmented mosaic of paranoia and deep-seated fear, Dr. Doom Stark decides the time for whispering has ended and the time for a world-shattering roar has begun. The ultimate trigger is not a crude physical assault, but a masterfully orchestrated symphony of events designed to push Banner past his absolute breaking point. During a high-stakes diplomatic mission where the world's eyes are fixed on the Avengers, Doom utilizes his hidden network of multiversal satellites to emit a low-frequency sonic pulse, inaudible to the human ear, but engineered to vibrate at the exact geophysical resonance of gamma radiation. Simultaneously, from the depths of his dark fortress, he channels a blind rage spell derived from the forbidden pages of the Darkhold, seamlessly weaving Stark's precision science with Von Doom's ancient sorcery. The resulting phenomenon is what Doom chillingly refers to as the Jade Eclipse. Bruce Banner doesn't just transform, he undergoes a violent psychic combustion. The mental barriers between the man and the beast are incinerated in a flash of emerald light and silver smoke. However, the Hulk that emerges from this arcane mist is not the irrational engine of destruction the world has feared, nor the civilized professor the world had learned to trust. Under the direct high-latency control of Doom Stark, the Hulk has been reborn as a tactical weapon of surgical precision. His eyes are no longer a simple, glowing green. They burn with a cold, silver runic energy that reflects the unyielding will of his new master. The battle that follows stands as the darkest hour in the storied history of the Avengers. This controlled Hulk attacks with a terrifying cold efficiency, utilizing Stark's intimate knowledge of the structural weaknesses in every Mark model armor and the biological limits of every hero on the field. He isn't merely smashing, he is systematically dismantling his former family. He intercepts Steve Rogers' shield with a speed that defies physics, destroys flight thrusters with calculated strikes to the cooling vents, and ignores the mystical constructs of Doctor Strange as if they were nothing more than light. For Doom has enchanted the Hulk's hide with a temporary immunity to the mystic arts. The team is paralyzed, not just by the physical onslaught, but by an overwhelming emotional shock. They cannot bring themselves to fight with lethal force against a man they still consider a brother, while the Hulk does not hesitate for a single microsecond, driven by the cold, calculating mind of a Tony Stark variant who has long since discarded the weight of remorse. The world watches in real time, and broadcast in haunting high definition, as their supposed protectors are humiliated and beaten into the dirt by one of their own founding members. The public's trust in the heroic ideal, already eroded by Doom's subtle manipulations, dies on the asphalt amidst the smoldering ruins of Manhattan. It is at this precise moment of absolute, crushing defeat, when Captain America lies broken and the Iron Man of our timeline sees his armor reduced to a heap of sparking scrap, that the sky above New York fractures. A silver and green portal opens, and Dr. Doom Stark descends. He does not arrive as an invader, but as a god from the machine. He floats effortlessly through the smoke, his emerald cloak billowing over a suit of cold, sophisticated metal, the face of Robert Downey Jr. partially visible beneath the shadow of his hood. He emanates a chilling authority that makes the very air vibrate with power. With a single resonant voice command, encoded with a mystical frequency that only the controlled Hulk can perceive, he brings the carnage to an instantaneous halt. The Hulk, whom the combined might of the Avengers could not slow down, now drops to his knees in a display of total submission before Doom. Stark looks down at his fallen friends and then turns his gaze to the cameras of the world, proclaiming the end of the era of chaotic freedom. He declares to the shivering masses that the heroes failed because they are slaves to their emotions and their fragile humanity, whereas he is the only being capable of truly taming the monsters that the heroic age created. The final chapter of this tragedy is the cold institutionalization of fear. Doom Stark does not execute the Avengers. He leaves them alive to wander a world they no longer recognize, serving as living monuments to their own irrelevance. He seizes control of the global infrastructure, replacing the world's failing governments with a technocratic dictatorship where every citizen is monitored by the interconnected Stark Doom surveillance grid. But the most potent symbol of his absolute dominion is the Hulk himself. The giant now lives in a state of permanent transformation. Yet he possesses no will of his own, serving as Doom's Jade Sentinel. This Hulk is now clad in heavy Latvian plate armor fused directly into his gamma-irradiated skin, acting as the silent, hulking bodyguard of the Iron Monarch. Wherever Doomstark walks, the monster follows. A massive, silent reminder that the man who once gave his life to save the universe now holds the power to end it with a simple flick of his wrist. The Variant Zero theory leaves us with a question that echoes through the corridors of the multiverse. What is truly worse? A world without Tony Stark, or a world where he decided that the only way to keep us safe was to make us his prisoners?